Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're ready for this one. This is my pulse multiplier strategy. I mentioned this a couple of times in the last couple of videos I did, but this needed to be a dedicated video because otherwise it would get lost in the weeds. And I would like people to see this because it's been working really well for me. So this is kind of my 57.5, 2.5x strategy. And I know that's a mouthful, but hopefully some of us have heard that before. Anyway, moving on. Most of you guys probably didn't catch that, so let's get right into the meat and potatoes of it. First off, Warren has been doing extremely well. We saw a pretty big pullback in liquidity, not because people were just pulling out funds and exiting the system. It's because Pulse was down. Obviously, they got the sword and shield method here where we got the stable coin and then we got Pulse. Pulse just basically had a major pullback over a few days. Really, the crypto market just took a dump in general, which was kind of rough on the portfolio. But we've all been here. You just don't panic. You just wait it out, and then you start to see up days. So I think Pulse has a really bright future. This is just a few days where we're seeing it in the red. I think overall, it's basically 0% concerned about it. Anyway, current liquidity up at 1.4 million. So that's put me above 3%. I've been letting this build up for a few days. As you can see, I've got about 3 days of a hold bonus. So I've got that here. I've got 735 down in the bond staked. What I'm going to show you how to do is pull money from this. So essentially do a claim, put some money back in, just a little over half of it, and then 2.5x the remaining money through the Foodtopian platform. So to me, this is win-win-win all the way around. What it does out the gate, you're able to actually take some profits. You're putting a good chunk of that money back into the protocol so the protocol continues to thrive and it builds up your bonds down here, which is going to increase your total personal bonus. And then since this number down here, your bond staked, really your stakes number is higher, you're going to get a higher dollar amount because it's going off of this percentage. So I've run the math on whether it would make sense for me to just build up this hold bonus forever and then claim, or if it would make sense for me to claim every few days and then put a good amount in. And I actually get paid more in dollar terms when I don't let this build up for a really long time. I just let it build up for a few days and put the additional in. This being higher, this number in this bond stake being higher, when multiplied by the percentage I'm getting, is higher than if I sit and wait and build it up. I was doing, which was holding on for a really long time, to just holding for a few days, getting a decent claim, and then running this pulse multiplier strategy. So here it is. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by selling. So let's start the process. Let's go max, and we'll confirm that on the ledger. All right, as you can see, I have no more money in here. I have just claimed it all. If we jump over to the bond, you're gonna see that it's all in here. So I've got all my dollars sitting in here. Now, what I wanna do is I wanna put some additional funds back into the protocol. And if I do that by clicking 25%, I'm just taking a portion of it, it's going to give me the additional 40% here. So when I go to stake it, of course, I'm gonna have to pay that. So it's essentially what I'm putting back into the protocol is this 478.78 plus that 670.29. So I'm putting 1149 of what I just claimed back into the protocol, which is 57.5%, which is the 57.5. So let's get started here. I'm going to approve. Once that's confirmed, I will create the bond. And now that the bond is created, I'm gonna go over to stake. Now I should be able to click down here, see the bond. I will stake the bond, confirm the transaction on the ledger as always. And then this number down here, my staked bonds, is gonna jump. All right, so as you can see, I'm almost at 800,000 in the bonds, which is fantastic. Now what that did, of course, as you see, I actually dropped my daily income bonus down to 3 to 2.86. It did increase my personal bonus, but this is the percentage I'm getting now. But if we were to do the math on it, I would actually be making more in dollar terms, having a higher balance here than I would if this was up at 3%. So for now, everything is golden. That's the first part of my strategy. I'm gonna wait several more days and then I'm gonna do this whole process all over again. Now, I did make some profits from Warren, and it's gonna come over in the form of this DAI Pulse LP pair. So if I look at it, I got $765 that's sitting there. Now that's nice, that's juicy. I really think Pulse is gonna take off, so I wanna hold the Pulse. I don't actually wanna hold this personally in the stablecoin. Now, in addition to getting the gains from the Pulse just going up naturally because the token price is gonna go up, I would rather also 2.5x that in the Foodtopian contract. So I'm about to seriously maximize these gains. So this is how I work the process. Right now, I've got this LP pair. I don't actually want that. I just want a bunch of Pulse. I'm going to jump over to the PulseX website, which is dex.dgenprotocol.io. And you got train, liquidity, all that type of stuff. I'm basically just getting to this point where I'm going to liquidity. There's my liquidity pair, which I want to remove. I'm going to maximize all of it, split it all up, confirm, and confirm it on the ledger. All right, that transaction has now been confirmed. I'm gonna go back, and I don't wanna do liquidity anymore because I don't have any LP pairs on Pulse Chain in this wallet. So let's go to exchange. And what I do have now is a bunch of DAI, $634 in DAI. What I would like to do is actually not do all of it because part of this is actually for something else. I had some DAI already sitting in my wallet and I need it for a different protocol, but I think I only need about 500 bucks for that play. So let's do 133, and I'm gonna swap this over to Pulse. Obviously I already had a bunch of Pulse in my wallet, so I've got plenty for this purpose. All right, let's confirm the transaction, and that Pulse has now landed in my wallet. Now I do happen to have some wrapped Pulse in here. I'm just gonna unwrap it while I'm in here. And that wrapped Pulse that I have in my wallet just so happens to be profit from the NFTs that I'm just about to show you. All right, now that that's done, I have a nice chunk of Pulse that's sitting in my wallet. What am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna go 2.5x it. In order to do that, you're gonna need to jump over to the Foodtopian website. Most of you guys have seen it. You've definitely seen this side of it, where I've got a bunch of NFTs and all that stuff. Let me give it a little refresh. All right, so here's the screen, here's the NFTs and everything that I have right now. Let's go here and switch to Pulse because there's a whole Pulse side to the NFTs. And if it's having trouble connecting, click down on your wallet and you'll see down here, just make sure you're on the right chain. Right now I am on the Pulse chain, which is where I need to be. Scroll down and then you've got options of which one you want to choose. They get increasingly more expensive as you go up. I want to say the burger's about 500 bucks. Pizzas are a few hundred. The fries are less, and the hot dogs are about $2,000. As you can see, I've already bought a few of these using my strategy, taking it from Warren, putting a lot back in the system, bringing some over here to 2.5x it, and so I've got those sitting here. I think what I'm going to do for the purpose of this video is let's go ahead and mint a burger. So right now it's telling me to switch network. I just need to click down on this and go grab the Pulse chain. There it is. Now I'm connected. Now I can mint this, and it will actually tell me up in the corner how much I'm looking at. So to mint the burger, $503.68. So yeah, right at 500. Let's go ahead and begin the signing process and confirm on the ledger as always. Now I think I'm about to mint burger number 30. Yep, I just minted number 30. And that is going to be important here in a second. So that burger is now currently sitting in my wallet. If I missed that, which one it was, I can go to my recent transactions, click transactions, and it will tell me which burger I just minted, and it looks like it's actually number 29. So that's important. Hopefully you can see that. The burger I just minted was number 29. I'm going to say burger to steak, number 29. I need to approve it. Confirm on the ledger. And once that's confirmed, you will click stake, and that will actually stake it in the system. All right, once that transaction goes through, I recommend a refresh. That should go from 4 to 5. Let's see if it worked. Okay, I now have 5 burgers on the Pulse side staked, and this is just earning me a bunch of money. So that $500 at a 2.5x at the current prices, that 500 is going to turn into $1,250. So automatically, passively, I don't have to do anything. This is tied to our in real life food business. So the food business, the food truck business helps make sure we have enough profits to pay out all the investors. And I just easily turn that 500 into 1,250. Now, in addition to that, we're going into a bull run. I think Pulse is going to take off. Pulse could easily see a 3 to 5x, and with some hype, it could 10 to 20x. So that would be really, really lucrative if that were to work out. As you can see, I got some rewards built up here. If I want to go in and claim these, I can. I'm not going to right now, but let's say if I claim this reward here, just sitting here for a couple of days, I got 20 bucks in Pulse sitting right here, 1839. So what this does for me, what this strategy does for me, is I'm already making really good money on the Warren side. Super happy with that protocol. I want to keep that going because that's just a money printer. Once I take some profits, I put the rest back in, I take some profits over and I go, okay, what do I want to do with them? I'm bullish on Pulse. I'm not bullish on DAI because it's a stable coin, so it's not going to go up. So I'm moving my money from DAI into Pulse, and then I would just hold Pulse. I would be perfectly fine with just holding Pulse in my wallet, knowing that I think it's going to see easily that 3 to 5x. I mean, I think that's really, really conservative, especially with the bull run coming. I think you're going to see people geek out on Pulse chain in this next bull run. So if I were just to hold that in my wallet, I would be completely satisfied. But why just hold it in my wallet when I can stake it into a protocol like this that's paid back by external revenue? I'm still technically in control of that pulse. So once I stake it, if the pulse price goes up, so does my gains. And then I'm going to 2.5x that number. So that, folks, is my strategy, and it's been working really, really well. So back to Warren, I go over here, I take my profits, I come to bond, I go 25%. When I go 25%, it's gonna give me the additional 40 for staking it, for bonding it for 40 days. When I add that in, that is 57.5% of the total amount that I withdrew from Warren. I bond it and stake it, of course, to put that back in the system and boost my gains over here on the Warren platform. Then I jump over here and I remove the liquidity. I swap my DAI over for my Pulse. Then I come over here to Foodtopian and I buy one of these NFTs and stake it and 2.5x my money. And this to me feels like an unlimited money printer. So check out my strategy if it's something you're interested in. I'm loving it. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but this is my team's protocol. So I feel really, really good about the security here. I also really, really love the Warren team. All those guys are trusted. We've been working with those guys for a long time, and obviously they built a really solid protocol. It's doing extremely, extremely well. So I'm really just taking one amazing protocol, taking a portion of my profits and 2.5xing them, all while working with good teams and good names in the space. To me, it's a win-win-win. So check it out if you're interested. Thanks for tuning in. Happy investing.